Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome to another review. We have been absolutely piling these reviews on. So many games have come out within this period itself. It has been absolutely crazy busy. And I like it. I do, because I make sure that I give myself enough time. And we break them down exactly like we do with every other game. So we are making sure that we are being absolutely fair. Give me a second. Let me just adjust that. There we go. Right. We are reviewing Kill Knight on the Xbox Series X, an indie game, but quite small in size, but it has a lot of ferociousness within the game itself. So is it worth your money? Is it worth buying, or is it worth waiting until it goes on sale? That's the point of this review. We go through the same template, like I said before, so we make sure we're always fair. So the very first thing that we like to look at is choice of music used, the audio effects, and the voice acting. We can completely ignore voice acting. There isn't anything whatsoever in regards to voice acting. It's completely mute in a way. But in terms of the choice of music used, especially that the type of gameplay that you're experiencing, it fits. It does. It's not absolutely amazing or absolutely epic. The boss music was pretty badass itself, but you're not, because of all the action that's really going on the screen, you're not really listening that much to the soundtrack. And I really like music in video games because I think it adds depth and emotion a lot of the times, and a good soundtrack can make or break a game. But with everything that's going on the screen, like I said, it's so hard to focus on pretty much anything other than your own survival. So, like I said, I can't speak positively or negatively. I'm kind of just at a flat line in regards to the audio. But if we talk about the effects, the weapon effects, the explosions, and even the sword effects, absolutely fine. I couldn't find an issue with any of them. They all sounded quite good with the headset that I'm using, and I can't really complain. The next thing that we look at is the graphics, texturing, and weather effects. Weather effects, we can push that aside because it's not applicable. But in terms of the graphics, it uses almost old school retro type graphics, very CRT TV type graphics itself, and I didn't really like it that much. I'm going to be completely honest. The game menus are a little bit hard to see when you go into the options. It's just a little bit hard on the eyes, and it just looks a little bit messy in the game itself. I wasn't a massive fan of how the game visually looked, but that's just my opinion. I'm not going to knock points off because of that. I'm just saying that it wasn't for me. Did the engine work? Yes. Were there any issues with the graphics engine? No. So yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to nitpick at it because, again, just because it wasn't for me doesn't mean it's shit overall. Gameplay and mechanics. This is a fast pace hack and slash shooter. The camera is up in the sky looking down on your character itself. You are pretty much dumped into a small battle arena. There's one cutscene that you get to see before the game begins, and there's no explanation to nothing. There's no story arc in this game whatsoever. So the story we're going to completely ignore as well, because there is no story to this game, to be fair. The two scenes that you do get, they don't really explain nothing. They really don't. But the gameplay is all about you surviving. And you can unlock quite a few unlockables. You can unlock a nice array of guns, a nice array of swords. You can also unlock a nice array of armor sets and accessory sets as well that will help boost your survivability. They also cater to your playstyle as well, so you can find a weapon that works for you, because they're all different. All the guns are different, they all shoot differently, the power-ups are different, or the ultimate attacks are all different. So once you've found your ideal set to use, you're probably ending up sticking with that, to be fair. What I would highly recommend is that use the very first level on the easiest difficulty as your method of unlocking most of the stuff in the game. Once you unlock the item, just die. Just let your character die, and then test out that new item. If you don't like it, move on to unlocking the next one. And I found that to be the easiest method to rinse through and unlock nearly everything in the game. The challenges are not super difficult, but some of them can be a little bit frustrating and annoying, which will increase the game's replayability there. But it's, again, once you find your ideal gun, ideal sword, armor set, and etc., you'll just stick with the same set all the way throughout your play, because it's about keeping yourself alive, and you're not going to want to use any item that's not helping you stay alive. You will be rinsing and repeating everything. There's only a couple of stages. There isn't a vast array of levels. And each level is around, on average, I'd say around 10 to 15 minutes. And it's just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat over and over and over and over again. It does get extremely repetitive. If you can manage to clear one stage, you'll get access to the next one, because that's how they unlock. You can only unlock the next level by completing the previous stage, and the difficulty goes up for sure. Now, we started the game on normal mode, but we were already struggling quite a bit, so we decided to lower the game down to easy mode and complete the whole game on easy mode. But is easy mode really easy throughout the game? No. Not at all. The level of difficulty mainly changes the enemy's movement speed and the damage that they deal. So if you can master dodging, I said this during the stream itself, if you are an incredibly skilled ninja in real life and you're able to button press dodge at the right moment, you will be a god at this game, because throughout every single level, that's what you have to do. You have to be able to dodge the laser beams, dodge the enemy projectiles, dodge the enemy attacks, dodge the laser beams that are being shot out the walls, the floor spikes that like to pinch your toes as you run past them. There are so many things that you're going to be staring at. You will probably die a lot. And I mean a lot. There's no retries. There, once you die, that's it. The level starts from the very beginning again. You get put on a massive tally board where you can see your score against everyone else. So that in itself will definitely add to the replayability of the game. You get a better score multiplier if you're playing on the harder difficulty. So again, it's all about showcasing your big dick energy, really. I mean, it got stressful. It really did. Online co-op modes, features and stability. The only modes it's more of a feature. There's no online. The feature is the fact that your score gets put up on a leaderboard, which you can compare against other players. And we actually managed, even though we went through on easy mode, we actually managed to unlock a lot of the achievements that were considered rare on Xbox that not a lot of people have actually gotten. Because, like I said, the game difficulty on easy is not easy on the later levels. They're fucking hard. And fair play to you if you're able to play on the hardest difficulty and clear through all those levels. Fair play to you. I have to give you mad respect. I'm getting a lot older. My response time is slowing down. And my patience level is getting smaller. A lot smaller. Any game customization and stats building, there's the stats are all determined by what you're using, your weapons, your armor. That's the only, you don't level up. You can't increase your defense, you can't increase your health, your speed, you can't do any of that shit. It is all done within the game's own unlockables that you work through. Microtransactions, there were none. So Push that aside, completely ignore that. Purchase price versus digital price versus value of content. The purchase price of the game itself is £12.50. So if you're looking American way, you're looking close to around about 15 bucks. So do I feel this game is worth 15 bucks or £12.50? If you want my honest opinion, I'm actually going to say no, because there isn't enough to want me coming back to playing this game. There isn't. I have no desire or interest to play the game on a higher difficulty. There's no story to keep me invested. And that's one thing that really, really works well with me. I love good stories. I really, really, really do. I like to get immersed into a really good written story. There is none. So no story, no bueno. The levels are meh. The enemy variation is meh. It's just a game that some people are going to buy, get frustrated, and probably just uninstall. If you're an achievement hunter, then good luck, because you're in it till you get them all, right? Or until you lose all your hair. Any additional notes? The game itself is under 3 gig. As I said, it's a small indie game. It's categorized as a shooter. Yes, I guess you could say that, but it's not a first-person shooter because, like I said, the camera is panned in the sky looking down at your character, almost like a diagonal angle. The publisher and the developer is Playside. The game is, this is the kicker though, the game is listed as a 4K Ultra HD 60 FPS. It don't matter if the engine that you're utilizing does not showcase that. It really doesn't. This could be a 1080p game, to be fair. 4K Ultra HD, sure, okay. No story mode, no character dialogue at all. There's no immunity from multiple hits, which means once you get hit once, you can get hit again and again and again and again and again and again really, really, really quickly. And as I said, if you're playing on the harder difficulties, your health bar goes zoop and you're dead. That's it. You can heal, but you have to be able to use one of your weapon's ultimate abilities to collect the green gems that heal you. And if you've not got the accessory to boost to those, then good luck, because it gets even harder. Last boss has multiple phases, so take your time with the last boss. You are actually rewarded with checkpoints at that point. So once you get to the second phase and you die, don't rip your hair out. You're okay. Just breathe, 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 and try again. until you headbutt a window. So is this game worth it? Is it worth a try? I mean, £12.50 is just, it's a little on the higher end for my taking. Should this game be on Game Pass? Yes, I do. Could this game, I don't know, £12.50? No. If you want my opinion, it's going to be a pass on a lot of it. It really is, because it just doesn't have the content. It really lacks the fucking content. And that's the most important thing. When you're asking someone to pay money for your game, you're saying it's worth every penny. And there are a lot of free-to-play games out there that have way more content in them. And overall, that is the deciding factor, to be fair for me. That is really the deciding factor on whether or not you should actually commit to buying it and commit to playing it. So with that in mind, what am I going to grade it? 5 out of 10 is average across the board as an average game, but because it has no story, no dialogue whatsoever, and it's extremely repetitive and gets boring very, very, very quickly, it's just not my cup of tea. And I'm not willing to put money into something that just doesn't have the fucking content in it. So I'm going to say it's a below average game. It definitely works. It is completable, as long as you don't jump out a window. So I'm just definitely below average. It works though. I'm going to say it's not worth the money, to be fair, in my opinion. Play other games that are free to play. It's a challenge game for sure, of people who love challenges. It needed more. So I'm going to score it a 3.5 out of 10. No, it is complete. I'm going to say 4 out of 10. The game is completable, 4 out of 10. But that is my opinion. If you disagree with me, or if you want to start a conversation around this game, please comment down below in the YouTube video. I will always respond. I always do. And I just want to say a massive thank you to Crown Clown EDD. He's a member of our community, and if it wasn't for that amazing, awesome bastard, we would not have reviewed this game. So Crown, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, sub if you haven't done so already, comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next review. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay well. Bye-bye.